900 men entered the water. Only 316 came out. The USS Indianapolis was one of the most decorated warships of World War II. 10 battle stars. She delivered the atomic bomb components that would end the war. Then the Navy lost her. For 4 days, no one noticed. Her crew floated in the Philippine Sea, dehydrated, delirious, and below them, the ocean came alive. This is the worst shark attack in human history, the deepest bureaucratic failure in Navy history, and a secret the Pentagon buried under atomic bombs and war heroes. What I want to know is why the captain went to prison, and why no admiral ever did. July 16th, 1945. The Trinity test lights up New Mexico. The atomic age begins. But the bomb is not yet a weapon. It needs a delivery system. It needs a ship. USS Indianapolis is a Portland-class heavy cruiser, commissioned in 1932. By 1945, she has seen everything. Aleutians, Guadalcanal, Tarawa, Saipan, Iwo Jima, Okinawa, 10 battle stars. Her captain is Charles B. McVeigh III, son of a Medal of Honor recipient, respected by his crew. On July 26, 1945, Indianapolis leaves San Francisco. Top secret orders. Her cargo is the non-nuclear components of Little Boy, the uranium bomb that will destroy Hiroshima. Most of the crew have no idea what they are carrying. They just know they are running at maximum speed. Radio silence, no stops. 2,500 miles in under 10 days. I double-checked this. The ship delivered the bomb's core parts on July 29th. The atomic mission was complete. Then she was ordered to Leyte Gulf for training exercises. Subscribe to Beyond Fleets. We don't sell headlines. We go beyond them. Type Indianapolis in comments if you believe 316 men deserved a faster rescue. Here is the part nobody talks about. The Navy knew Japanese submarines were active along that route. They had intercepted intelligence about I-58, a new type of submarine carrying oxygen torpedoes. But Indianapolis was sent anyway, without destroyer escort, without air cover, sailing alone at 17 knots. July 30th, 1945. Midnight. Philippine Sea. Lieutenant Commander Mochitsura Hashimoto commands I-58. He spots a silhouette on the horizon, a large American cruiser. No zigzag, no escort. He fires 6 Type 95 torpedoes. 2 hit. The first strikes the bow. The second hits amidships near the fuel tanks. The explosions are massive. Indianapolis breaks in 2 in under 12 minutes. No time to launch most lifeboats. Nearly 900 men jump into the water. Many are trapped in the sinking bow section. 1,196 men total on board. Roughly 900 survive the initial sinking. Here is where it gets genuinely strange. The Navy had a system. Ships report arrival. If a ship is overdue, a search begins. Indianapolis was due at Leyte Gulf on August 2nd, so for 3 full days after she sank, no one looked. 3 messages about her delay were misfiled or ignored. A radio operator in Leyte heard a distress signal on July 30th, but dismissed it as a Japanese trick. The Navy did not start a coordinated search until August 2nd, 4 days after the sinking. I have to be honest. This part made me angry. On August 2nd, a PV-1 Ventura patrol bomber on routine patrol spots an oil slick and debris. The pilot radios for help. By nightfall, a PBY Catalina lands in the water and begins pulling men out. Destroyers arrive. They find bodies everywhere. Men who had survived 4 days of hell. What happened in those 4 days is almost impossible to describe. The water is warm. That is the problem. Warm water means sharks, oceanic whitetips, tigers, hundreds of them, drawn by blood, drawn by oil, drawn by the sound of men struggling. The first night men hear screams. A man floating alone is suddenly yanked under. Blood surfaces, then nothing. By the second day, the sharks are circling in groups. They bite off limbs. They drag men down while their shipmates watch. Some survivors described sharks attacking the same man multiple times over hours. Historians estimate at least 150 men were killed or maimed by sharks, the worst documented shark attack in human history. But the sharks were not the only killers. Dehydration sets in after 2 days. Men drink seawater. Saltwater poisoning causes organs to shut down. Delirium follows. Some men hallucinate land. They swim away from rafts and never return. Others just let go. They slip under the water and do not fight. By the 4th day, the survivors are barely conscious, covered in fuel oil, burned by the sun, lips cracked, eyes swollen shut. Many are rescued only to die hours later on the rescue ship. Run the math. 1,196 men. 900 entered the water. 316 came out alive. The death ratio is 3.8 to 1. For every survivor, nearly 4 men died. Here is the detail that is genuinely hard to get your head around. The Navy knew about the sinking on August 2nd. They rescued the survivors. Then they classified almost everything. The court-martial of Captain McVeigh began in December 1945, while many survivors were still in naval hospitals. The charge was hazarding his ship by failing to zigzag. Never mind that Hashimoto later testified he could have hit Indianapolis even if she had zigzagged. Never mind that the Navy had not informed McVeigh that I-58 was in the area. Never mind that no destroyer escort was provided. McVeigh was found guilty. He was the only captain in U.S. Navy history court-martialed for losing a ship to enemy action in wartime. He received a reprimand. He retired. And in 1968, he killed himself with a service revolver on his front porch. This is the bit that got me. The Navy's darkest secret is not the sharks. It is not the 4 days of waiting. It is the cover-up. The atomic mission meant the sinking had to be downplayed. The bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki happened just days after the rescue. The Indianapolis story disappeared from newspapers. The Navy never publicly admitted its own failures in routing, communications, and rescue protocols. And here is what nobody tells you. Some files about the Indianapolis sinking remain classified to this day. Specifically, the routing order signed by Vice Admiral George D. Murray, Chief of Staff to Admiral Raymond Spruance. That order sent Indianapolis through known submarine waters without escort. That document is still sealed. So is the message traffic from Commander Marianas to Pacific Fleet Headquarters on July 31st, the day after the sinking, which showed they had intercepted I-58's position report and did nothing, and the personnel file of Lieutenant Stuart B. Gibson, the officer who dismissed the distress signal as a Japanese trick. His full testimony from 1945 remains redacted. Those 3 documents would answer who actually decided to leave 900 men in the water. The Navy still will not release them. Dr. Lewis Haynes was the ship's doctor. He survived. This is what he said about the second night. I heard a man scream, then another, then a gurgling sound. The sharks were taking them one by one. I prayed for a bomb to fall on us. Death by explosion would have been kinder. Haynes watched his patients, men he had treated for burns and injuries, get pulled under while he could do nothing. He lived until 2011. He never stopped asking why the Navy waited. So why does this matter in 2026? Because the Navy still has not fully fixed its communication failures. In 2017, the USS Fitzgerald and USS John S. McCain collided with merchant ships. 7 sailors died. The Navy's investigation found similar problems: missed warnings, delayed responses, commanders left in the dark. Sound familiar? China has studied the Indianapolis disaster as a case study in what not to do. Their naval academy teaches it. They know that if you lose a ship and do not search immediately, you lose the crew. Russia learned nothing. Their submarine Kursk sank in 2000. They waited days before asking for help. 118 died. The lesson is brutal. The Navy's darkest secret is that the system failed. Not one man. And that system still has cracks today. In August 2017, a team led by Paul Allen discovered the wreck of Indianapolis, 18,000 feet deep in the Philippine Sea. The ship is upright. The name is still visible on the hull. It is a war grave, protected, unsalvaged. The families finally had a place to mourn, but the questions remain. So, USS Indianapolis, a decorated cruiser, an atomic courier, a sinking that should never have happened. 4 days in shark-infested water, 316 survivors, 1 court-martial, 1 suicide. The Navy called it a tragedy. The survivors called it abandonment. Historians call it the worst shark attack in history. But the darkest secret is simpler. The Navy knew. They just did not act. Indianapolis is still down there, 18,000 feet deep, 316 ghosts above, 880 below. A captain whose name was cleared too late, and 3 classified files that would tell the truth about who left them there. Nobody came back for them in time. If this breakdown changed how you see the Navy's darkest secret, subscribe to Beyond Fleets. We don't sell headlines, we go beyond them. Type Indianapolis in comments if you believe Captain McVeigh deserved better than a loaded gun on his porch.